Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyat Nastveshya Bhatresu Nityam Bharata Sevayam Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike. We will be reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto. Lord Krishna shows the universal form. Text 42. Aham mamasu patire same suto. It's on the board? Not yet. Almost. Text 42. Yeah. So, aham mamasa patire same suto. Prajyas parasya kila vittapasati. Gopa sagopa sagandana shame. Yanmaya etam kumati samekati. Aham mamasa patire same suto. Pachas parasya kila vittapasati. Gopa sagopa sagodana same. Yanmaya etam kumati samekati. Aham mamasa patire shame suto. Vachas parasya kila vittapasati. Gopa sagopa sagadana same. Yanmaya etam kumati samekati. Aham mamasa padre same suto. Vachas parasya kila vittapasati. Gopa sagodana same. Yanmaya etam kumati samekati. Aham mamasa padre same suto. Vachas parasya kila vittapasati. Gopa sagodana same. Yanmaya etam kumati samekati. Aham mamasa padre same suto. Vajrasya kila vittapasati. Gopasa gopasa gotana same. Yanmaetam kumati same gati. Mataji, please. Mamasa pade same siddho. Vajrasya kila vittapasati. Gopasa gopasa gotana same. Yanmaetam kumati same gati. Word for word translation. Aham, my existence. Mama, my. Asa, Nanda Maharaj. Patihi, husband. Esa, this Krishna. Mesuta is my son. Raja Ishvarasya, of my husband Nanda Maharaj. Akila Vittapa, I'm the possessor of unlimited opulence and wealth. Sati, because I'm his wife. Gopya Cha, and all the damsels of the coward man. Gopa, all the coward men are my subordinates. Saagandanaha cha, with the cows and calves. Me, my. Yatmayaya, all such things addressed by me are after all given by the mercy of the Supreme. Itam, thus, kumatihi, I'm wrongly thinking they are my possessions. Samegati is therefore my only shelter. I'm simply instrumental. The translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. It is by the influence of the Supreme Lord's Maya that I'm wrongly thinking that Nanda Maharaj is my husband, that Krishna is my son, and that because I'm the queen of Nanda Maharaj, all the wealth of cows and calves are my possessions, and all the coward men and their wives are my subjects. Actually, I'm an eternal subordinate of the Supreme Lord. He's my ultimate shelter. Now, see. Before. Purport. Following the footsteps of Mother Yasoda, everyone should follow this mentality of renunciation. Whatever wealth, opulence, whatever else we may possess, belong not to us, but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Be careful with this game, because it's going to. So, whatever wealth, opulence, or whatever else we may possess, belong not to us, but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate shelter of everyone and the ultimate owner of everyone. As stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktaram Shakatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yatpamam Santim Vichati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. We should not be proud of our possessions, as expressed by Mother Yasoda herein. I am not the owner of possessions, the opulent wife of Nanda Maharaj, the estate, the possessions, the cows and calves, and the subjects like the gopis and cows and cowmen are all given to me. One should give up thinking of my possessions, my son, and my husband. Nothing belongs to anyone but the Supreme Lord. Only because of illusion do we wrongly think I'm existing or everything belongs to me. This Mother Yasoda completely surrenders unto the Supreme Lord for the moment. She was rather disappointed, thinking, my endeavors to protect my son by charity and other auspicious activities are useless. The Supreme Lord has given me many things, but unless he takes charge of everything, there is no assurance of protection. I must therefore ultimately seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. As stated by Prahlad Maharaj, Palasyanaya Saranam Pitaram Singha, a father and mother cannot ultimately take care of their children. Atohya Satra Saptaptaviter Yana Shyamoho Yamam Mamiti. Bhagavatam 558. One's land, home, wealth, and all one's possession belongs to the Supreme Personality of God. Although we only think I'm this and these things are mine. Read the verse once again. Mamasa pate same sutho vajas parasya kila tapansati gopya sagopa sahagodana shame yanmaya yetam kumati samegati. It is by the influence of the Supreme Lord's Maya that I'm wrongly thinking that Nanda Maharaj is my husband, that Krishna is my son, and that because I'm the queen of Nanda Maharaj, all the wealth of cows and calves are my possessions, and all the cowherd men and their wives are my subjects. Actually, I'm also an eternal subordinate of the Supreme Lord. He's my ultimate shelter. Om Mahyanati Manasya Chinanjana Shmaka Shakshurnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Chitchetayamanopistam Stapatam Yena Bhutane Ramapakadaimam Dadati Swapanam Vandeyam Shiro Shiyuda Pamkamanam Shirom Vaishnavam Sham Shirupam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Pitam Tam Sajiv Sadvaitam Savaduttam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalita Shikshakam Pitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Chatpate Gopesha Gopya Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchna Gauraki Radhe Nashve Vishavan Sutadevi Pranamamahi Vanka Kalpa Vishak Pasan Vivishak Patnam Vandyo Vaishnavyo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaura Bhaktavin Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutani Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani, Nirvishesha Srinivasa Prachayana Prasatana. Srila Prabhupada Ki. I will be reading now first the commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami on this first. I hope I can read it. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The Lord is my son's maintainer and protector. If that is so, then what is the use of my ignorant concept of I and mine? Giving up a false conception and surrendering to the Lord. Yasoda speaks. I think that I am a protector of Nanda's wealth. I think I am the queen of the coward man and women and the cows. I think I am the mother of this child, who is the life of the residents of Raj. I am his nourisher, and by worship of devas and brahmans, through meditation and charities, by daily worship of Vishnu, I by myself can give protection to myself, to my son. This is all misconception, as all of Raj wealth is given by the mercy of Vishnu. I should not be proud. Similarly, since by his mercy, the child was protected at every moment from the demons like Putana, I should not think that I, as a mother among the common cowards with impure sentiments, and his protector among the common cowards with impure sentiments, and his protector. So the type of logic is temporary, not permanent in Yasuna. It is similar to temporary desire of the confirmed materialists to give up wife and family because of some temporary spiritually urge. Little complicated at the end. Jiva Goswami is a little shorter. Therefore, I surrender unto him. Examining her external conditions, she strengthens her belief about her natural position in 3 lines. In the 4th line, she examines her internal position and in fear surrenders to the Lord. I see my son as high or low because of my bad intelligence, kumatihi, caused by the Lord's inconceivable maya. Therefore, I should surrender to him, since I have no bhakti. Or if I'm in illusion, I must surrender to him. All our words by astonishment, and other words simply nourish our prema, just as everything turns salty by being in the ocean. It's Jiva Goswami. Sanatana Goswami. Therefore, I surrender to him. All our knowledge has been created by the Lord's Maya, and after confirming his powers, she surrendered to the Lord to destroy her illusion. Considering the real truth, all relationships are temporary. Understanding these relationships were false, she indicated her foolishing kumati, or rejecting the 3 options starting with a dream. She accepted the 4th option. But then to destroy that idea, she surrendered to the Lord of the universe. By directly perceiving relations, the first 3 options, dream, devatas, illusion, and bewilderment of intelligence are discarded. thinking him to be the Supreme Lord with the universe within him, the fourth option, is also illusion. This is my bad thought. The Lord is my goal. The Lord should remove this bad thought and confirm that Krishna is my son. And Krishna is my son. So these are commentaries of our previous acharyas from different angles. But it shows the mentality of a resident of Vrindavan, a pure devotee, that a devotee never thinks this is mine or this is for my enjoyment. He knows always, Bhaktam Sagatapsam Sarvalokamarsaram Surinam Sarvabhutam Katmam Santam Richard. The Lord is the proprietor of everything, and because everything belongs to him, he is the rightful enjoyer. If one understands that the Lord is a friend of everyone, so one becomes peaceful. That's what the verse says. So Mother Yasoda thinks, yes, she feels ashamed. She thinks I'm thinking I'm the queen, and that I possess all this wealth as the wife of Nanda Maharaj. And she feels ashamed by these thoughts because she knows very well everything belongs to the Lord. But it seems here she comes in Jnana, knowledge of the world and how everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. But still, she is very attached to her son. And Krishna is my son. So it's not that she thinks Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but she takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. The Bhagavatam is teaching us here the inner mood of a pure devotee, an inner mood we need to develop to successfully chant the holy names of Krishna. And Mother Yasoda is showing this mood. She is approaching, she loves Krishna and serves him in parental love. This love of a mother to the child, we should put, Srila Prabhupada many times said we should chant the holy name of Krishna like a child crying for the mother. That a child cries for the mother. Because the chanting, if we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, it's a cry or it's a call for the Lord and His energy to give us protection. It's the only protection of the conditioned soul. And also Mother Yasoda takes complete shelter of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord or the holy name is the same. So we should learn to take shelter of the holy name, as Srila Prabhupada said, as a child crying for the mother. That's when this chanting, Prabhupada said, is exactly like a genuine cry of a child for the mother's presence. That So this crying of a child for a mother, Srila Prabhupada, I found four different references of Prabhupada using this analogy, but in different ways. The first thing he says is helplessness. So Mother Yasoda feels helpless as she takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. That and the mood of a child is calling for the mother. There's a deep feeling in the child of helplessness that a child cannot survive without the mother's care. When children have good parents, they don't need to think about their own maintenance and protection. If they are hungry or thirsty, they go to their mother. If they are tired, they climb on the mother's lap and go to sleep. If they are frightened, if they are distressed, they run to the mother for shelter. So the mother is happy to provide everything they need. So that's the nature of the relationship. Similarly, when we chant the holy name, when we chant it with a mood of dependence on Krishna. Krishna, your material energy is too strong. I cannot overcome it with my material attachment and illusions on my own. So that's the mood of Mother Yasoda. Therefore, I'm hopelessly caught in this bodily identification, and so I need your help, Krishna. Krishna is very happy to accept our invitation to come to rescue. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he demonstrates this helplessness in his song, Oe Vaishnava Thakur. And in that song he writes, Ekaki amare nai pai balam, harinama sankirtane, tumi kripasare shada bindu diyo, Deo Krishna Namadana. Alone, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, I do not find the strength to carry on the Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasures of the holy name. So that is taking shelter of the holy name. So that's the first aspect. The child feels helpless and takes shelter of the mother. But there is also another aspect here. And that when a child cries, there is focus that it's crying for the mother, very clearly. One person. The relationship between the child and the mother is extremely close and exclusive. When a baby cries, then there may be thousands of people who are willing, able to help, but no one can console the child. Even sometimes the father is at loss of stopping the baby crying. The baby wants only its mother. The crying is specifically directed towards the mother. There is a feeling towards the mother that I'm yours. So if we chant his holy name, we should exclusively exclusively focus on Krishna. And let all the other relationships in this world fall away for that moment. They're all temporary. And connect with that one person who is always there for us, Krishna, who has accompanied us in our heart for many lifetimes, who is our best friend, who is our real eternal well-wisher. And all other relationship will come and go, but that relationship with Krishna always remains. It's eternal. It's the only thing we can really own in this world. That Krishna is mine and I'm his, and everything else is temporary and limited. So yes, that whether Mother Yasoda takes shelter of Lord Narayan, the Supreme Lord, or she takes shelter or she gives her service to Krishna, the same shelter. So that will help us to improve our chanting. During our japa, feeling helpless, not only during our japa, always. Yeah, and focus on the holy name of Krishna, on that one person. And a third aspect that is emphasized by Srila Prabhupada in that analogy of the child crying for the mother is love. There is a sense of love. Srila Prabhupada said that the closest thing to pure love in this world is the mother's love for her child. There is no closer bond of affection than between the mother and the child. No matter what her children may do, the mother cannot stop loving them. No matter how ugly her children are, the mother sees them as beautiful. Even if a child rejects the mother and leaves home for years, the mother will receive them back with open arms at any moment. Even more than a mother loves her child, Krishna loves us. He never wanted us to come to this material world, but he respected our choice. We decided, and he unwillingly sanctioned it. Still, he wants us to come back more than we do. For every step we take to Krishna, it takes 10 steps towards us. So Lord Krishna is waiting for us with open arms. He's waiting for us to turn to him. While we chant, we need to open our hearts to receive his love and reciprocate by slaying his names with affection. Krishna gives our love, but we want something others in our heart. And as long as that is there, we cannot receive the love. We must first give up our attachment to control this world, our attachment to this I and mine. So these are three aspects of the chanting of the analogy of a child crying for the mother, explained by Prabhupada. Do you remember these three? What was the first one? That first aspect? No, of the chanting of a child for the mother. Yeah, and what does that represent? Helplessness. And the second thing was focus. only for Krishna. And third thing, love. That's when I was preaching with Prahlad Maharaj used to explain that these are the words of Prabhupada, he repeated, that first give your attention to Krishna and then give your love. That's all, always. But so these are three aspects: helplessness, focus, that and giving your love. But to give your love, then before coming to that point, we need to develop a longing. That's the fourth aspect of this analogy. That the child is not just speaking to the mother, it's calling out loudly, desperately, crying like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, the child wants the mother's presence. Our chanting should be with the same intensity, longing for Krishna's association. Rupa Goswami, in Nectar of Devotion, explained the qualification for going back to Godhead is laulya, intense free to attain it. That we need to be so eager to attain Krishna that our intelligence is is on one point fixed on that purpose. Bhagavad Gita says, Vyavsa Atmika Buddhi Ekana Ko Nandana, one pointed intelligence. That so in the Bhagavatam, in the 6th canto, chapter 11, there Vitrasur, a pure devotee in the guise of a demon, is offering beautiful prayers to the Lord and is using that same analogy of a child crying for the mother. And he uses that to convey the eagerness to reconnect with Krishna through service. I read that verse. Ajata paksha ivamataram karam stanyam yata vatsarakshutsa artaha priyam priyeva yusitam visana mano ravindaksham didikshate tvam. O my lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, and as small calves tied with ropes wait anxiously the time of milking, when they are allowed to drink the milk of their mothers, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service to you. So these are different ways Srila Prabhupada looked at this and gave his instructions how to chant like a child crying for the mother. Therefore, it's important to realize that we are powerless to make advancement on our own. So that's also expressed by Mother Yasoda in this verse. That in these verses, that if we understand we are powerless to make our spiritual advancement on our own, then we are able to call Lord to Krishna with some sincere feeling. When we understand that Krishna is our very source and savior, we will chant with a sense of relationship that Krishna, I'm yours. When we know that Krishna's love for us is unconditional, our hearts will melt and we will chant with affection. And when we realize that Krishna is our only shelter and also the most wonderful personality, we will chant with intense longing to serve him again, once again, because that's our constitutional position. Because we turned away from Krishna, but he gave us a free ticket to return in the form of the holy name. By that, if we understand the value of the holy name and how desperately we need this chanting of the holy name, we will automatically make the chanting the priority in our lives. And that's a humble state of mind we need to chant his name constantly. Because, of course, Mother Yasoda thinks it's by illusion that I think that Nanda Maharaj is my husband and Krishna is my son. Like Queen Kunti, she, in her prayers to Lord Krishna, in the 8th chapter of the first canto, she prays to Krishna to please cut this bond of affection with my sons. That's interesting. But our sons are pure devotees. So Prabhupada explains in the purport. So this feeling of affection for others is natural. So she's not asking to take away that feeling, but she's asking to take away the skin disease. Skin disease means she thinks the Pandavas are my sons. That's the problem. So that's not the case. That's just an illusion that something is ours in this world. But Prabhupada says, yes, she prays to take away the material part of the affection. But affection is natural, to give your affection to the devotees. That's natural. But yes, this feeling of surrender. Mother Yasoda feels ashamed, yes. I'm thinking, this is all mine. But it belongs all to the Supreme Lord, actually. Why do we think in this I and mine? Because we have a deep-rooted rebelliousness against Krishna, that envy towards Krishna. That's why we are here. We got this body because we were envious of Krishna. This body is a product of that. So nobody can say in this world that I've not been envious of Krishna. No. Because you have been envious of Krishna, you get this material body. So therefore we struggle in this material world because of this rebellious nature. Because that's going against our natural position. eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. And that we are, Prabhupada explained, it's like the finger to the body. The finger is a part of the body. And when it's connecting with the body, it's functioning nicely. That it's serving the needs of the body. It brings food to the mouth. But when the finger is severed from the body, it becomes, then it cannot function and it decomposes. Similarly, when we are parts of Krishna and our lives are meant to be always connected with Krishna in service. And when we rebel against Krishna, then we disconnect ourselves from him. Our lives become a struggle, a losing battle in the material world of disease, death. But to overcome this bitter struggle for existence, we need to reconnect with Krishna. And that is only possible if we give up our rebellious attitude and accept the authority of Krishna. That the authority that Krishna is origin of everything, is the enjoyer and proprietor of everything. So yes, this Mother Yasoda's mood, which is explained here, that so she was seeing the reality that but she was seeing the reality of the situation, although she thinks she's in illusion. But that is a level of transcendental realization, transcendence. You see things as they are. But this is only the beginning of spiritual life. Attain this level of transcendence. By transcending material nature, can I go back to the spiritual world? No. You must have a relationship with Krishna. You must feel devotion for Krishna. The passport to go into the spiritual world is devotion, not just transcendence. So that therefore we will see in the next verses, Mother Yasoda goes again to the higher spiritual energy, devotion. And that's also the will of Krishna. He has shown his universal form in his belly, in his mouth. And then Mother Yasoda comes to see the reality of what's going on. But then Krishna brings us again under his influence of Yoga Maya and the devotional energy and goes to a higher plane. And then she just embraces Krishna and she forgot about all these bad thoughts. Because this jnana in the material world has no much meaning. Jnana, transcendental knowledge, is important for us to come out of the conditioned life and back to our natural situation. It helps us to transcend this material world. But once you have transcended, then you go to the spiritual world, there's no use of this jnana anymore. Jnana helps you to attain liberation, but you are beyond liberation. She goes to the higher plane of the spiritual energy, the Ladini Shakti, the ecstatic love for Krishna. And she embraces Krishna and she thinks, yeah, let these bad thoughts go away. But of course, that's not our platform. Mother Yasoda is also showing how the appropriate inner attitude for a devotee. And that's shown here. So Krishna gives her an insight of that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, well, he doesn't give that because Mother Yasoda never thinks her son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not a moment. That she thinks Krishna is her son. That is her Staibhav, her relationship with Krishna. But she thinks here by the influence of the Supreme Lord, I'm seeing all these things. She becomes confused. But yes, that all happens because through this pastime we see our Mother Yasoda inside is always surrendered to the Supreme Lord and never thinks this is mine. That's for us to learn this lesson. And our inner attitude helps us to improve our chanting, to learn to chant as a child crying for the mother. 4 things we learned. The first was helplessness, focus in the chanting, keep your love in the chanting, and develop a greed to attain Krishna. That greed we are attained by associating with the Bhagavatam. So that's what I could say on this first. Thank you. Yes, but
and in that situation, and some of the situations, it looks like that she's moving. Because,
yeah, it looks like she's losing this relationship, but it's not. Because
Krishna is,
yeah.
That's mentioned that she was realizing that Krishna is God. Now she's realizing God as like the whole powerful, the whole maintainer, which is like the first class, one of the first classes. That's one thing happening with Arjuna is like friendship with Krishna, right? He doesn't see him like a friend, but he sees it like God, and he sees it like someone can.
Yeah, he becomes aware of Krishna's position, but here, because in this verse show she's taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but she doesn't think Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna is my son, and that remains. She may have doubts, but at a certain moment, that this mystic powers, that because Kagamuni has said, your son will be equal to Narayan. And they translated it, yeah, he will have the powers of Narayan. So these powers have been given to him. And because here in Sanatana Goswami, he concludes, yeah, thinking him to be the Supreme Lord of the universe within him is also an illusion. She thinks it's an illusion to think that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. She thinks it's just a bad thought, Sanatana Goswami said, the Lord is my goal, Mother Yashoda thinks, the Supreme Lord. It's not Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And the Lord should remove this bad thought and confirm that Krishna is my son. That's our mood, according to Sanatana Goswami. Yeah. Yeah.
You were saying also that when you one step forward to Krishna, you do 10 steps. As we know, from the day that 2 steps is covering the entire universe. So how far are we from
Krishna? Yeah, that it means, yeah. Ananya Sintyantamam Yechna Payapasti Tesam Nitya Bhayuktam Yoga Kshema Pamyam. If we are sincere in our devotional service, Krishna protects our Krishna consciousness and gives us opportunity to advance more. So these are Krishna's steps. He gives us opportunity, but how we deal with these opportunities is up to us. But he gives us the opportunity. I've seen that in the beginning when I started to chant 16 rounds. I was going on holiday with my wife and children in the Black Forest in Germany. And while driving, internally I was chanting the whole time on the way. And we stopped in so many places, and in every place there was something related to Krishna. We came in a restaurant and there was a big painting with Krishna and the gopis, and then we came to another place, and I was in Freiburg im Breisgau. That I was already 10 days in the Black Forest. I was getting up in the morning in the hotel. I was making a japa walk, chanting my rounds. And then at a certain moment, I was in the center of Freiburg in Breisgau. And I was chanting my last rounds. I made a japa walk. And I was praying to Krishna, that I'm already 10 days here and no association with devotees. Please help me. I was chanting, and when I just chanted my 16 rounds, a devotee was standing for me with a stack of books. And we had a nice talk. He gave me prasadam. That's nice. Krishna reciprocates in so many ways, but how do we deal with it? It's up to us. That I'm sure that many devotees can tell us wonderful stories of what they experienced, Krishna's reciprocation. So many things. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. The child analogy is not a perfect analogy. It's not spiritual, the crying of a baby for the mother. There is it wants the mother for its own comfort, for its own comfort. Yeah. So there is a materialistic aspect here that, but we can apply it in a spiritual way. Just the object of our love is different. That so we should approach Krishna, and in the beginning, our motives will not be pure. It's not possible. Krishna says, Shatur vidab jantamam yechana suvitarya arta shikhna artarti jnanasya bharatarshava. There are four kinds of materialistic people who approach me. And because they are approaching me, Krishna says, they are sukritina. They are nice, they are good, they are pious. There are those who are in distress, that those who want wealth, those who are curious, and those who want the absolute truth and liberation. That these are all materialistic endeavors. But that's okay in the beginning. The Bhagavatam says, Sukadev Goswami, Akama Savakam for Moksakama Udarte Tivena Bhaktiona Chaite Purusham Param. Whether you are full of material desires, have no material desires, or you want liberation, with great power, perform devotional service. And and then you will become purified. But that does not mean that approaching Krishna with material desires is not. It's not a high grade approach of bhakti, because as long as we have these desires, this bhakti will not flourish. But it doesn't matter. You will become purified, and you will come to having the pure desire. But we can, in our development of Krishna consciousness, come to that point more quickly by hearing every day the Bhagavatam and learn what is pure motivation. That because Prabhupada made the points in his books, purity is the force. So if you are pure in your desire, only want to serve Krishna, then Krishna will clearly reciprocate. That otherwise he may reciprocate through the material energy, that not through his spiritual energy. That therefore we must hear. Does that help? You had also a point.
Yeah, well, regarding his question?
No.
Okay. We hear that so many times that we're supposed to not think we possess something. But and then in devotional service, we think it's all right. What do you say? We could be attached to a particular temple, for example, or attached to this or that facility. So how do you not get into this problem?
Yeah.
We think it's okay. Oh no, it's in devotional service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these attachments, that it's important because we say yes, that everything belongs to Krishna, not to us. But we may have something under our care. Instead of thinking that belongs to me, we should thinking it belongs to Krishna, but Krishna has put it under my care to use for him. That it's not that it doesn't belong to me or I don't care for it. No, that's not healthy. I remember when I was in, I traveled a lot also as brahmachari already. And every time the devotees came to pick me up from the railway station or the airport with a Sankirtan van. And mostly the Sankirtan van was falling apart. And there was just enough fuel to reach the destination. But in a lamentable condition. That's not good. Krishna is giving us, put it under our care, and we should use it very nicely for Krishna. So be attached to it for Krishna. You understand? That is an important aspect. Once I went to Finland, Helsinki, and the devotees were waiting for me. We were going with the Sankirtan devotees to the north. It's a long drive, 300 kilometers to the north. And it was outside, minus 25 Celsius degrees. And I drove also to the north with a Sankirtan van. But this Sankirtan van was not a new one, but it was very nicely maintained. And before leaving, it was checking the oil, everything clean, everything nice. And then we were driving to the north. And Finland is very beautiful. You see all these lakes and then stalactites from ice, but freezing cold, minus 25, minus 30. And we were driving already an hour. I didn't see any house, only trees, lakes, beautiful, but deadly. That was 25 years ago. Deadly. If you have a problem with your car in that situation, and there is no one around for kilometers and kilometers, the mobile phone was not used yet at that time. You just leave your body there. So they knew I have to maintain it nicely. Otherwise, my life depends on that. But that's a material motive. They were maintaining it nicely for their own body, for their safety. But we should maintain it in the same way, out of love for Krishna. It belongs to Krishna, it's not an ordinary car. We should maintain it very much. Does that help? Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.